Hi, welcome to another Sports with Jeffrey. I'm making another video breaking down the AL Central. So in the AL Central, we have Minnesota. Minnesota's winning that division. Minnesota's playing good baseball. They beat the Astros 2 out of 3 this past weekend. And then they were playing really good against the New York Yankees last night. They were up 9-0 after the first inning. Correa got his first home run. And that's the Twins. The Twins are 9-4. Correa hadn't even really turned it on yet. Like, he just hit his first home run yesterday. So the Twins could be scary. If the Twins can get it going, the Twins could definitely be a scary team. And they signed, catcher Gary Sanchez. Not Gary Sanchez. They signed Christian Vasquez this offseason. That was a solid move. He just won the championship with the Houston Astros. He's played with the Red Sox. He has winning experience. They can add to that locker room. A good veteran catcher. Christian Vasquez was a great pickup for the Minnesota Twins. And now we're looking at teams like the Guardians. Guardians are off to a really good start too. Guardians could possibly, if Guardians could put their team together, Guardians can really make a run for the AL Central, or they could even make a run, a good deep playoff run, even maybe making it to the ALCS if the Guardians can get it together. We look at other teams such as the White Sox. The White Sox are kind of a disappointment to me. The White Sox built a good team. They had Tony La Rosa, for a couple of years, but the White Sox could just never get it going. The White Sox have been a disappointment. I remember they beat the Astros, in the championship in 2005, and I was thinking, the White Sox could be back and win the championship before that, but the White Sox have struggled. The White Sox have kind of, let me down as a sports fan the last few years. And then we have the bottom dwellers, the Royals. The Royals really, the Royals, in my lifetime, the Royals didn't seem to have done much. They did get good in the mid-2000s, 2010s, I should say. They had a very good run. They won a championship. So the Royals had a good little run, but the Royals can't get it together anymore. I feel like the Royals just, can't get it together. And then we have also, the Detroit Tigers. They got A.J. Hinch as a manager. They have a really good manager, but the Tigers it's disappointing. They can't get it together either. And Detroit's just kind of been in limbo for a while. I remember the glory days of Jim Leyland being the manager of the Tigers, but the Tigers just don't seem to be doing much. So in that division, I really think it's going to be, at the end of the day, I think Minnesota's going to win it. And I think Minnesota's probably going to finish about third in the American League. I think Houston's going to get it going, and I think Houston is going to get first place in the AL West. Both in the AL West and in the American League. And then I think the Yankees are going to overtake the Rays. I really do. I see the Yankees overtaking the Rays. I see I see the Twins winning that division, and then that's what I see anyway for the division winners, And the wild card, it's too early to say. There's a lot of teams doing decent, Texas, could Texas do it? They have a lot of good pitching. They went out and signed. Can they stay healthy? Who knows? Can the Angels stay good? They have Ohtani. They have Mike Trout. They have Rendon. I believe they have Rendon. The last time I checked, they had Rendon. The Angels have a decent team. But, can they translate it and win? Who knows? Teams like the Guardians, can the Guardians keep it up? Can Chicago get it together and maybe be winning? There's Boston. Boston's always there every year. Most years it feels like. Tampa Bay, I feel like Tampa Bay is going to get in at least as a wild card. I don't think they'll be left out of the playoffs. The Blue Jays, they seem to be in it a lot every year. The Orioles, they're coming up and strong. So, I definitely think there's a lot of teams. Seattle's off to a disappointing start, but I think Seattle's going to get it together. Seattle has too good of a team to not get it together. Seattle's off to a slow start like Houston, but at the end of the day, Seattle and Houston are going to be making a big playoff push. That's going to happen, barring any injuries now. Like, if Jose Altuve struggles with injuries all year and Michael Brantley stays out and Alvarez gets hurt and Bregman gets hurt and, maybe the pitching, Hunter Brown starts struggling, and Jose Urquidy or something gets hurt, I could see the Astros getting left out of the playoffs this year with, all that happening. But at the end of the day, I think the Astros are going to be in the playoffs. But it's really too early to say who's going to win the World Series because there's so much baseball to play. There really is. So we'll see what happens in the American League. Thank you for watching another Sports with Jeffrey. Y'all have a good evening.